right, Cameron Mitchell here with JnC Fitness, personal training and bodybuilding coaching, located inside the world famous Quads Gym, Chicago. And today I'm gonna go over the planes of motion, and you'll hear me talking, well, my clients do, and you will too if you pay attention to my videos on a regular basis. To talk about balance with nutrition, such as a good example there would be your fats. You have saturated, polyunsaturated, monounsaturated fats, and it's a good idea to try to be balanced throughout the day with all three. Have a third of each roughly. And in training, like if you're doing an agonist and antagonist exercises, like if you're doing lower abs, it's a good idea to make sure that you're training lower back. So do hanging leg raises and hyperextensions to offset that and keep a balance. People that generally do one a lot more than the other end up with low back problems and issues resulting from that. Also with training and planes of motion in everyday life, actually, want to be balanced in life too. If you don't want to be focused on just training and neglect your family or friends or having a social life, that will come back and bite you too. But back to the point of the planes of motion is something that you have three, and in bodybuilding and physique-minded training, we generally stick with sagittal plane of motion, and the frontal plane of motion gets some as well. And then we kind of neglect the transverse plane of motion, diagonal, horizontal, whatever you want to call it. I like that. So you have sagittal, frontal, and transverse planes of movement. Okay, that's just kind of how the body moves. And transverse is used greatly in sports. From a basketball player to turning around and jump shots to a defensive backpedaling and then rotating to keep up with the receiver. Hip swivel. It's also one of the most common areas to have injuries, like an ACL tear that can, if bad enough, can take you out for quite a bit of time. And you'll see big, strong people train and lift crazy amounts of weight in the gym. They look completely fit and solid as a rock, and then they screw themselves up getting in their car or moving furniture, something that's not even that heavy. And that's a lot of times the result of not training in that plane of movement, and being dominant in the others. So it's a good idea to add in exercises to hit the transverse plane of movement, and that will help you prevent injuries in the future. Good examples of sagittal would be bench press, squat, push-ups. Those are all in the sagittal plane. Frontal plane would be side laterals, side bends. Not that I like that exercise, but especially for physique, not a great idea. Overhead pressing is also another example. And then for transverse, that's pretty much your rotational exercises. Even for your arm, pronation and supination, which would just be, a supinated curl is up, palm up, and pronated would be palm down, and then neutral. But that's an example of transverse, is a rotation of pronation and supination. Also, any twisting, like would say cable twists, golf swings, wood chop, medicine ball twists, mason twists. Those are all examples of a transverse plane. So what you want to do is just make sure that you add in a few of those exercises for the upper and lower body. And doesn't have to be a great deal of them, but it's a good idea to throw in, one or two per training day, just to make sure that you're getting a well-rounded and balanced training. And again, with bodybuilders and meatheads and the like, they tend to get stuck in a routine and, meat and potatoes, and no veggies. Well, this is kind of the same thing, sagittal, frontal, no transverse. They all can lead to issues and imbalances. And when you have an imbalance and you keep training through it, it's eventually going to end up in an injury. So The point and the idea for today is to look through exercises that you haven't been doing, add in some rotational movements, and give it as much focus as you give everything else, and you will be better off for it. So with that being said, this is Quick Tips on Video. Again, my name is Cameron Mitchell with JnC Fitness out of Quads Gym, Chicago. You can catch us on Facebook with JnC Fitness on Facebook. You can on Instagram, JnC Fitness, on YouTube, JnC Fitness, and our app, our mobile app, which is free, is on the App Store and Google Play under JnC Fitness. There's articles, galleries, videos, deals for my services as a coach, and online services that you only get through the app. And soon it will be integrated into the website that's being built for clients that are doing meal planning and contest prep. So it'd be much easier to send out spreadsheets through that and keep connected. So that's JnC Fitness at the App Store or Google Play. And so I want you guys to have a great day, train hard, eat well, beyond limits, be it, get it. All right, thank you. This chart is showing the transverse frontal and sagittal planes of movement, just so you get a better idea.